with this, we'll see what kind of composition they put together. Maybe it'll be one to avoid fights anyways. They've been doing a lot of rotational things in the early part of the season. That Afromoon Morgana was always something to help bring out a First Blood going around, or even a Thresh.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for the last couple of strategies that CLG use, because of the fact that they've had so many. They've just been using different picks and champions combinations pretty much the entire season, and they're really looking to focus as they move towards playoffs and towards international competition. What has Scar got written on his notebook today?
I don't know. Well, but Team 8 is going to want this one, Kobe. They have not beaten CLG or Gravity, the only two teams. So they want to beat CLG very bad here.
Their sub-squad even beat Team 8 early on at the very beginning of the North American LCS.
Yep, the CLG subbers.
Let's see if the main squad of CLG can live up to the subs performance. Very interesting. We rarely see CLG ban out Nidalee just because it is such a favorite of Link, but trying to branch out here. Let's see what they decide to go with. Sion, definitely one of my favorite bans because I just hate to see those long-standing tanks. He's one of the ones that benefits very, very heavily from the tank meta, as well as the jungle item boosting percentage HP, since he already has bonus health built into his kit.
What else is added on there?
Cali Trolls got targeted, though. They banned out his Gragas and left up his Aurelia. The Aurelia for Cali Trolls was one of the most target bans that we've ever had in the North American LCS. And they opt for his, second fiddle top laner here to ban out Gragas instead of banning out the Aurelia instead. And he immediately jumps on it. Again, though, this is one of the things in Champion Select, like Champion Select mechanics.
Yeah.
Don't mouse over the pick if you're actually going to pick that champion. Gives the other team more time to think about it. Either leave it blank or rest on something else. So technically, they're resting on something else, and they make the last-minute swap over to Maokai. They have Cali back on a tank champion.
Yeah.
He's not going to get kills. He's not going to... I don't know. This is a direction that Team 8... This is kind of... They've had a rocky sort of history when they do have Cali on the pure tanks.
Getting baited in.
We'll see if it works out this time around, though. Slushy and Porpoise have been making quite a lot of plays for the team, but Cali
talking about Porpoise as well.
Supportive.
I like the ban for Gragas. We've seen WT have been bringing that in the jungle a few times, so it almost fits those two spots because Cali Trolls would bring that to the top lane too. So the bans, pretty nice by each team, definitely showing that they have done their homework. Maple Street, if Graves is up, I don't know why he hasn't picked it.
The thing is, they gave away, because of this Maokai pick, which is not even, it's not a huge power pick to me. I mean, yes, it is, he's a very good tank for the top lane, but tanks are a dime a dozen right now. And you gave up Lulu and Sejuani for Maokai. I feel like Counter Logic Gaming are destroying in this pick ban so far. They get so much that they wanted. Not only that, but they also get the support AD carry, the Sivir for speed boost, which is huge in the long drawn-out team fights, the extra speed for the mid-game. And CLG also love to use Sivir just to make rotational plays, grabbing objective after objective or catching a team while they're trying to transition across the map and catch up to CLG. It's just such a huge power pick for Counter Logic Gaming. So much speed here with Lulu as well as Sivir. Man, good combo here so far.
You liking it?
Okay, the thing is, there's a lot of good things here for CLG. Graves has been the go-to pick for Maple Street. By the way, this is still 5-5. This is not. They're not going to pick Bard. This is even before the Bard buffs. Yeah, they're definitely not gonna pick Bard. But Maple Street, this has been the champion that Maple Street's had so many game-winning plays on. Is the Graves. So that's a good pick for Team 8, and the comfort pick as well for Slushy. He's on the Orianna. CLG have to watch that ball while it's sitting at the bottom. Come on, Afro. If anybody's the man to do it, it's Afro move. But I doubt it.
They have a new hover. They got to use it, right? It's not old yet. So we'll wait for Afromu to choose out here. He could decide to take something else, or he could decide to take that.
Holy moly, though. So yeah, it's going to be Team 8 comfort picks versus, except for Cali, and then CLG with just smash your face, team fighting, and speed as well. So Let's see if teammate can keep up. Come on, lock it. 3 seconds left, and they decide to go with Corki mid and rotate the Lulu down to support for Aframu.
Huh. How do you think Corki actually rounds out this composition after seeing all of those picks?
I don't know. CLG have been very, very big fans of double AD. So it's definitely something that this is probably the most prolific double AD team that we have in North America. And they're definitely looking to hone their skills as far as the few strategies that they're chopping down to.
Yep.
So we'll see. They do have the speed, which is good. The kind of the supportive AD carry here for Sivir. Also one of the most defensive AD carries. Spell shield is huge. Blocking an entire spell late game is giant. Plus, Corki's definitely one of the strong mid ADs to use it with because of the constant barrage of rockets that comes in earlier from the solo experience, as well as the mixed damage threat. So they'll have plenty of magic damage. So the itemization for Cali Trolls will not be easy. Cannot just build super armor heavy Maokai and basically screw over a double AD carry composition because they have so much magic damage with the Rumble and mid lane Corki.
Yep. Well, we're going to be checking in to see who you think will come out on top. As always, so tweet hashtag T8win or hashtag CLGwin to @LOL Esports. And I'm not going to say we have a pause, but we might have a pause going into this one. Things I do. Oh, yeah.
There's a Moo supporter.
Little Moo love. Babies love League of Legends as well, if you didn't know.
So G Bronze Age. Ouch.
Dang. Is that like the equivalent of a free SM chant? Turning Gold Age to Bronze Age?
Looks like it is.
I am liking Slushy's pickup of Ignite. Lucia Oriana sometimes switch back and forth. I'm always a guy that loves the kill pressure.
Yeah.
Slushy's a
I really actually, as you know, Slushy is one of the last of the Oriana players in North America. It's very interesting.
Sad.
It's so interesting to watch his Oriana play, though, because he's so sneaky with it. He doesn't draw a lot of attention to his Oriana ball, and he just kind of leaves it on the ground
just
for
hovering.
a good 3 or 4 seconds.
People will walk right over it again, too. They're like, oh, it's
and then,
he forgot about it.
He waits for them to walk near, and one quick movement, and he gets these great shockwaves off consistently in almost every game that he's played Oriana. So it's kind of a test to the detail-oriented minds of CLG. Let's see if they can pay attention to the Easter egg on the ground.
Yeah, but other things to think about. We'll see. He's poised and ready to make plays. Like I said, these guys always calm. Sometimes, even in the past, after games, you'll see the team will kind of, man, I don't know. Not these guys. They always feel strong going into it. And Slushy says they learned from their Week 1 loss to CLG and are going to be applying those lessons to this rematch.
I'd say coming into CLG, playing against them first week, it was kind of our rude awakening to the LCS. We couldn't get away with letting OP picks through, and champions like Lysandra, Gnar, and Jarvan at the time were all considered very first pick, first ban worthy, and we gave them all away.
Huh.
Well,
so Sejuani, Lulu. I feel like those are really power picks right now. Lulu might even be top 2-3 picks all around, considering the current meta and the value of protecting AD carries nowadays.
Just waiting to get this one restarted, checking on Aframu Masteries.
Yeah. Gosh, I cannot believe we had so many issues with this.
He might have thought he was playing Bard, you know.
Yeah, they're checking to see if he accidentally changed them.
Right.
Or if it is that bug. Again, the refs do have a cool little quick replay system.
The ability
they can see what they did. And they can go back and watch what you did in Champ Select.
With the player.
Yeah.
Right there.
So everybody will be aware if he actually selected that page or if it was indeed the bug. Yeah, let's see what CLG can do with yet another double AD composition.
All right, see what the game is about to go back in. We're going to get this one set. Things will stay as they are, and we are getting onto the Rift. It's going to be Counter Logic Gaming versus Teammate. Crowd, get yourselves ready. We're going to get back onto the Rift. And Teammate looking to make an impact here. We just heard from Slushy. Will the shockwaves hit? Will everybody be on the same page? Kobe, you made mention of Cali Trolls being back on these tanks and not the playmakers himself. Sometimes leads the team astray, and we'll have to keep an eye on that.
All right, so whenever we have CLG, look to see about a lane swap. They could go with the kind of SK use of the Lulu and go Sivir Lulu. Can shove down lanes really, really quickly. That wave clear is insane. And CLG would like nothing more than to jump into the mid game where they've got insane threat with Rumble as well as Sejuani ultimate. If they get a good Sej ultimate like we just saw in the last game from Cloud9 with a Rumble on top of that and 2 sped up Lulu assisted AD carries, they could just annihilate. Wow.
Yeah.
We've seen very, very deep wards on both sides from Teammate, actually. A risky little maneuver here, but recalls all around will get them out safely, and they've been rewarded with complete vision. Not only the ward from Maokai, but check out the saplings that he's laid down. So CLG's early game will be revealed as soon as they venture further into their own territory. As of right now, though, hovering on the other side of their red buff, they've been able to avoid all information gathering wards thus far.
Yeah, it's interesting how this has evolved too. Usually they'd go in sneakily, try to place see if their lane swapping ward carefully.
Sapling actually, both saplings time out. So they won't be alerted as to the top start here for Zion with double jungle until it's too late. Standard lanes from Teammate, as well as, there it is, the lane swap CLG. Fairly classic, looking for the freeze here, double lift. Groups up the minions. Standard start for Maokai, Sapling spamming those Wraiths. Raptors actually nowadays. And we'll see an early roam from Afromu. I think keeping track of these supports as far as the early movements, Afromu's going to get vision on that blue buff. He just went and checked inside the jungle, made sure it was there, and now he's going to make his visit towards mid lane. No opportunity since Lucy's playing far back, so he heads back up to gain experience and leech from double lift. Standard double jungle, since Afromu already checked the blue buff, CLG should be well aware that it will be cross-map jungling here, just going to cross over the river, and the double jungling will continue. Standard, very standard lane swap starts here from both squads. Gromp first, yes please. Gonna look for that smite on the Gromp. Smithy so he can get the Gromp buff and extra damage.
See where Maple Street starts. He's freezing as well in his lane as much as possible.
Well, he actually just buckshotted that wave, so they're looking to cut off any reinforcements that were sent. However, CLG's focus is on tower dive. Tower dive mid early. They get the flash and the teleport.
Don't have to keep him down there, obviously.
Interesting little adaptation.
They still have Maple Street pushing the bottom turret. A lot of pressure here, however, from CLG, but there's too much wave clear for them to really get anything else out of this. They're going to lose this, and double lift is still, looks like he's freezing that lane towards the top side.
I like CLG's plan, you know, of
there's the
not staying predictable, and they actually, very rarely do you see the, mid lane turret dive with only level 2s.
You can say rarely.
Basically, since they had to trade teleports with, sending Rumble down bottom, though, CLG, they earn themselves a flash, and they earn themselves a good 5 seconds of solo laner up defending their turret. Only now does Cali Trolls make his way up to try and soak up the Lulu Sivir push lane. But really, the entire game there was a mid lane flash from Slushy. So we'll see if there's some more ward support now in mid lane for Slushy to keep him safe. But as of right now, CLG have drawn themselves back into the more defensive style. Sejuani coming up to target Cali, though. Will find Porpoise on the way. The ever-annoying enemy smite of your Wraiths. So he actually did not smite the Gromp when they were doing it for the extra damage buff. Saved it for the Wolves, excuse me. Saved it for the Wolves to get that Ghost. And you get your free information. That frees up Rumble to go into lane and lane 1 versus 1.
Dodo, no! Oh,
Another
flashes over the wall. Smithy can follow. Link does as well. That's a lot down. That's the shield coming in. Dodo gets the Link. Link's going to get hit up here, and he's definitely going down, but they get the first blood over to Dodo. Slushi picks up a nice kill there for himself in the trade.
Actually not worth it by Dodo to give up first blood. Both kills were assisted, so it's just the advantage there for CLG grabbing the extra first blood money. It does delay some farming from Link a little bit, but he will respawn very quickly. Short death timer is this early, and he probably will only lose a couple of minions. So Dodo deciding to go for the hook, no more defense, actually cost them a bit of gold. Not a huge advantage for CLG. Very small.
Yep. We'll see how they use it. Pink ward's now coming out for... Looks like teammate. One has already been placed down just behind red, and we also have one for Slushi and Dodo. So they're looking to start gaining a little bit more coverage, push it up, feeling more safe, that means. Let's see if it's Slushi that can help to make the plays. Dodo Roam already placing some deep inside of CLG's jungle to get some eyes on Smithy. These guys are coming up on level 5 soon, so no worries for the ultimates yet. Pressure from the jungle. Just making sure they have what they need in vision. Aphromoo as well on the roam here.
I want to take a look as well.
Pressure.
Porpoise again going into enemy jungle because he's got duo lane down bottom. So as Rek'Sai, you also have the advantage of the sonar vision, sort of. So he's alerted to Smithy, can chase him off of the Gromp, and put a little bit of pressure there on the Rumble. That Wolf Spirit, though, is so important in lane swap scenarios. That's why we see the junglers prioritizing that smite over the extra damage of Gromp, which normally in a regular situation, you always want the Gromp for extra damage. Vision key, though. Oh, good play.
Good bit of pressure here. Smithy forced to flash. We actually just saw that happening towards the top side, so he just got that back.
These vision plays here, Team 8 have actually got themselves a decent amount of territory. CLG get to clear out a pink ward for free on bottom side, though. That will be fairly big.
So 31-17 going through this. Cali Trolls versus Zion Spartan in the top lane. Now that they match up from the previous 2v1. Good jump out by Link. It's going to be hard for Porpoise to hit that, but he's still trying to add the pressure to mid lane.
Yeah.
1-1 there between those two.
Zion actually, since he got scared off of bottom, pretty decent lead for Cali Trolls. Maokai, however, is not a big bully. Even with the lead over Rumble, should not really pose a threat to Zion Spartan. He could try and make the CSing difficult for Zion, as Rumble under turret is kind of hard to work with until you really get used to using the Flame Spitter.
Yeah.
As of right now, you can tell, though, Cali not willing to try and pressure and shove the lane all the way into the turret. Trying to get himself some vision. What a dodge there from Link. Good use of the Valkyrie, especially now with the changes where Valkyrie costs extra mana early on in the game. Have to use it sparingly. Slushi still, didn't go back to buy after the kill. He's still just sitting on the double Doran ring. Doing a good job staying in this lane, getting a little bit of extra experience over Link. And he shoves this lane in. That's a sizable double wave there that he denied Link with that little exchange. So big Orianna play. And since he was sitting so long in the mid lane there with the kill as well, is able to get a full needlessly large rod.
Had it been any longer, I think he might have gotten just boots, but he backs, gets himself right as rain now, and he can start making some plays, especially if Dragon were to come up. That Shockwave is all they're waiting on for that cooldown. Smithy creeps in just on the edge of this one. Level 6 for him as well. It's going to be Dodo. It only hits him. Maple Street peels off nicely, but he's got to watch his support go down as CLG starts to make some moves.
Yep. Again, Sejuani hits level 6, immediate go for a gank. Great side bush vision control as well by CLG and Aphromoo, clearing out the side brush.
Right.
It's very, very important, especially in that matchup versus Thresh. So CLG able to get the side brush cleared out and use their double ultimate timing very effectively.
Back down to red. Void Rush is out. Porpoise now could probably help the bottom side of the map, but a nice job there as well. Afromoo kind of sweeping out the brush as soon as Xmithy got there. It was nicely done.
Sneaky.
His teammate probably thought he was not coming in. Porpoise over the wall after Void rushing down. And it looks like they're going to be able to get this dragon for themselves. Very nicely done.
So another reason why Porpoise is going for this, he just saw Corki return, Sejuani's gank bottom, and then Corki returned to lane with a blue buff. So he knew that Xmithy just used everything he had. He had half health from the gank bottom, no ultimate left, just had to tank the blue buff for Corki. And having cleared out the vision around Dragon previously, he knew he could just use the tunnel into the back of the Dragon pit. And a very good jungle sense there from Porpoise Pops, or just Porpoise now, to be able to gain something on the back of the successful CLG gank bottom.
Zion, a little too much pressure there, may have alerted Xmithy, or rather Cali Trolls, to that instance of being ganked. So may see a little bit of lost time here. Link was almost going to run up for that as well, but he's back to 10 to the mid lane. Just talking about Porpoise, he has tunnels all the way through the bottom, but now he's creeping towards the top side. He may be here for the nice counter gank. Goes in, Xmithy's going to be there. The ultimate is up, gets them both, but Zion Spartan could go down before it matters. They turn to Xmithy. The 2v1 could be enough, but Cali Troll's very low on mana here, and Porpoise can only offer so much. Xmithy doing it. Can they keep going? You can't see him going under the turret here, but Link may be doing just that. They're waiting for the wave to push up, and Porpoise, he is getting that sixth sense that he is in trouble. The Fast Bomb in, the knock-up is there, the rocket connects, and Link gets the roam for sure, but the mid lane being pushed by Slushy.
Yeah, and CLG knew that he could make that roam because he's got the pink ward in the river. Slushy decides to try and shove lane instead of answer roam from Corki. Does not want to risk that. Ooh, Link actually sitting behind him.
Ooh. Looks like Afromoo got popped there. They're going to go for Maple Street. Oh, do they get him out in time? Equalizer goes down, and he gets trapped up in a bit of his own minions. They should stick to Dodo here for the finalizer. A double kill as Zion Spartan gets the teleport that counts for the team, and Slushy is putting on the blue suede shoes to get through this one. Shield comes up, one last shot. He does not go down. And Link almost picks up another one right quick for himself.
So that was double teleport used, but Cali used his top to try and get the wave because of the action. And Zion actually decided to use his teleport bottom. So the choice here from CLG to go for the kills bottom, pretty rewarding for Zion because you got both of them.
Super explosive.
Whereas Cali going back to lane got a bunch of minion experience. All right, so Maple and Dodo, good hook, and they get the kill initially. Zion teleport's able to answer for 2. Yeah, Dodo, nothing left there as Zion able to overheat. But that entire time, Cali was able to get full wave top, so he retains his CS advantage at least. Full spell penetration coming in, and it's a good thing for Cali that he decided to delay for either his Rod or his Righteous Glory, whichever path he's going for, in favor of some early magic resist.
Kill in the bottom lane, nicely hit by Dodo and Maple Street just before Afromoo hit 6, so he actually was not able to wild growth himself. Teammate taking advantage of some situations as they see them, putting that cash in their pocket. They're only down 1,000 gold right now. Porpoise tending to his jungle. It looks like he might meet up here with Afromoo in just a second, but they turned their different ways.
So with the teleports being traded as well, the other big difference is that Cali used his to a turret. So he got that greatly reduced cooldown, while as Zion Spartan is going to be cornered up in the top lane for a little bit longer. So there's a small window that teammate can actually use that they could communicate to each other, because Zion is at a huge power spike right now. He's got all the flat penetration. If they can create a situation...
Oh, Maple Street, he lives by the skin of his teeth, and they're going to be able to turn this one around. Probably should not have come out alive on that one, but CLG again comes up on the short end of the stick with that. Cali Trolls, he's pretty big, and he's going to take a while to go down. He's going to get the shield here. That's going to be the shockwave back into the fight. You already see that Zion peeled off a little bit. Xmithy still wanted it, and they come up for the fight. The Void Rush was used there to call off as well, and very nice collapse by teammate to save the members.
Man, these lane ganks from both junglers wrapping around through the side lane brush Side lane brush control is so important here. Neither team is able to keep wards up for very long in their side lane brush. And
Right.
both junglers capitalizing. Really strong performance here from teammate, keeping up in the early game. But again, Zion, he's got full flat penetration completed on the Rumble, and he's looking to make moves. No ultimate available now either, though.
They're playing fire down there. Good thing they have the Thresh pick. That's all I can say right now in those last few plays. But they make it work. That's kind of how Team 8 has been. Everybody knows what they need to do. Cali sometimes goes outside that realm, but Maple Street is always picking up kills in the end of the game. He doesn't go crazy and lose the bot lane for the team. They don't super win the bot lane either, but they get what they need out of those lanes, and I think it's been something that carries Team 8, even against the top teams, through the early game, where a lot of teams struggle.
Well, let's see if those guys can get back to defend this turret.
Might be a little too late.
Negative. The shoving from Silver Lulu. They can instantly destroy a wave with that AoE. Now on the retreat, though, the bottom turret is also half health for Team 8. So Team 8, they do have both turrets softened up. Ooh,
well, you don't have
recall
Thresh
here.
anymore.
Again, no side brush vision control here, and Maple up into the lane. Smithy's in there also, so
Kobe, hold me! Oh no! He's like, where's the lantern? No, you gotta be kidding me!
Smithy held the
Oh
ultimate.
my
He's
God.
so greedy. Oh, I fall into this trap as well. I can't really blame him, but I'm going to anyway.
way.
Super greedy there to hold the Sejuani ultimate when you've got Graves right in front of you. No summoners Graves, by the way, as well. So they were keeping track of the timer, and Smithy just wanted to hold his ulti so badly.
How many kills have just slowly walked away from CLG now? They've had enough. Put their foot down. They're going to go ahead and grab Dragon, but Team 8 will contest this. The
He
Void
does have
rushes
his
down.
ultimate still
Void
for the
rushes
team fight.
up, actually. Teleport's going to be coming in. That is going over to Smithy. Oh, the shockwave misses, but Cali Trolls is right into the middle, and he looks like he is big enough to take the damage that CLG is dishing out here.
Double
They're all
lift.
turning to keep fighting, too. This means Team 8's going to have the chance to recoup, or rather re-go on the fight over and over. Link, one last hit, no! It's going to be the Seeker coming from Porpoise on that one. And he gets his prey.
Team 8 with their mid-game team fighting. Again, they're able to collapse on the Dragon. CLG a bit demoralized after Maple Street escaped the gank. They really wanted to capitalize on it. They felt like they deserved something after getting that sneaky gank off on Maple Street. They didn't get the kill, so they wanted to pick up Dragon after it with no AD carry from Team 8. And Sejuani holding on to her ultimate. But a huge play there from Team 8. Teleport play. Able to come in from Cali first, and that was the huge difference. Cali on the front lines, this full defense Maokai. So again, this is that small window that Team 8 were looking to capitalize on, teleporting to a turret, whereas teleporting to a minion from Rumble. Cali there is the difference.
He's just hitting everyone.
And he targeted double lift. They were able to stick on him so long that the spell shield is blown on. I believe a Prey Seeker ate that one up before the hook went in, so really good from Team 8. And Link's the one to go down as well. What a collapse there from Team 8. And
These guys can scrap.
man,
Skirmish very well.
I vocalized it, but I didn't think that Team 8 were actually going to keep track of that small difference between the teleport. But they did. And they pulled off a play here. CLG were the ones who were not keeping track of their timers, I believe. And they just really wanted to force it with no Graves. Let's see, though. They want to collapse here. Would be a 4-on-3 if Sedge and Corki could make it up there in time, because Graves is pressuring bottom and Slushy not leaving mid lane.
This is going to get scary. They're going to lose pressure on the mid, Kobe, but a lot of CLG putting their resources here to the top side.
Scared him off.
Yeah. Porpoise can only do so much. Loving that Rek'Sai pick. It has more than once saved turrets for Team 8 as well. Almost did there. But Counter Logic Gaming able to put a little bit more power towards that top side for the time being. You see Maple Street is very far pushed up here in the bottom lane, but he's about to get some help from Slushy.
This could be another reverse situation here.
Oh, Zion Spartan! Ooh, he's forced to flash. Smithy just did the same thing at the Dragon fight.
I thought it was going to be another Frog and Forbidden interaction, but not to be. They do get the flash out of Rumble, though, and the ultimate down, so a lot of cooldowns there used from Zion just before he saw Slushy rotate over. He thought it was going to be a 1-versus-1 with Maple, easy kill. But
that shows you the lack of wards they have in their jungle. A pretty deep movement there from Team 8. They should be waltzing around the wolf camp. So now everybody's going to gather in mid. CLG knows where teammate is, and vice versa. See who has the better fight here. Not too much
What
wave
hook
clear.
into the turret range. That's some good damage onto the tank.
Ooh. Taking a bit back though. Lynx Rockets are shredding through Porbis and Dodo. They hold it, and now they have Maple Street back for a bit more wave clear. So things should be a little bit easier.
Let's see though. CLG, they have Leandri's Rumble completed, Trinity Force plus Sork Shoes for Link for his extra poke. Wow. Just gonna wait Cali. More good damage onto the tank. It's always good to soften them up before the team fights. Sork Shoes again, yeah, for good poke here, for mid-game poke from Link. Let's see if CLG can take advantage. They do, both AD carries similar items at the moment. No big difference there. But Righteous Glory is completed for teammates, so they do have the ability to try and engage if they see somebody out of position. If they do not see somebody out of position, though, very risky to try and charge the CLG team. There's so much AoE with the Sedge and Rumble combo. Teammate have to be very careful, and it's really up to Cali to eat the Sedge combo or make her ultimate hard to get to the back line. He is going full tank Maokai, so if it just lands on him,
it's also going to be hard to figure out how CLG is going to move and assess it. They have the Sivir ultimate to either kite it and then kind of reinitiate and come back. We see the first buy from Cali Trolls being the Righteous Glory as well, so they want to get that speed in if they want to be able to catch up to that kiting Sivir fight.
They should be able to walk their way around any shockwaves.
Yeah, that's true.
The problem is if Maokai delivers the shockwave onto one of the AD carries, and that would be an issue.
We've seen them have no trouble flashing it so far. 2 members have proven that from Chronologic Gaming. But slowly, Team 8 here has accrued about 1,000 gold lead.
Athene's into death cap here for Slushy, though if he does land the shockwave, it will be devastating.
Oh, right, the Morellos, yep.
Or, yeah. Excuse me.
It's pretty big, 201.
Next patch is the patch where Athenes get buffed, and we'll probably see the resurgence of Athenes.
I am excited for
They
that.
are still on 5.5 though, so Morellos, the go-to first build.
So let's see where they go from here, Kobe. That power is going to be big. Cali Trolls, the teleport's up, but he's going ahead and going to walk down to this mid lane.
Chunk.
Very good chunk indeed. And I'm sure Slushy is keeping it in his mind to not just throw off those shockwaves. A lot of people have been dodging.
CLG
Here
have been
comes
able to get the
Porbis.
vision advantage here. They've got True Sight. Ooh, they no longer have True Sight.
It's the battle. Who's going to get the
The
scuttle?
batter over Scuttler. Will you use one
that-
of your smite charges? The only thing about Spectator, I can't see
He's going to dash.
they have 2 charges ready for it.
I don't know. It's still a good cooldown between 2 charges.
Teammates claimed it.
Dragon's already hit.
Smithy's doing Dragon right now, though. So.
2,300 HP. Smithy looks like he could just keep
Sedge
it by
holds
himself.
down.
They go for the fight. Dodo's in the middle. That's going to hit double if the AD carry's gone
Oh
with
my
all
God,
the summoners
Zion.
and the Sivir ultimate. Maple Street's not in a good spot, and it looks like the damage dealers still on the up and up here for Chronologic Gaming. They're able to use them very nicely. Dragon goes over to Smithy after the elongated fight we've said they were going to happen over and over again. And everybody picks up some kills. Nice.
Gold
Chronologic
star
Gaming.
for Zion Spartan here. Oh man, that flank. He got Rumble ultimate onto the back line, both Maple and Slushy, and then just walked right down the ramp with Flame Spitter ablaze. He's on a ward too. Zion's on a ward. The front line runs right past him. Back line in perfect area for the Rumble ultimate, and Smithy comes out.
Smells
They just
something cooking.
annihilate all of the damage for Team 8, and the front line's sitting there. Where's our damage? We got no follow-up. Now we're cornered, and CLG clean up. What a beautiful sort of judo move there from CLG. They use the aggression, the charge from teammates' front line, and they just sweep around back with the Rumble, and Sejuani pops off a Dragon. I think that was a bit headstrong from Team 8 as far as the team fight goes. They need to have much better constructed battle lines because they're the ones with the conventional AP and AD for the back line that need to stay alive and have the strong front line there to peel for them.
Right.
Cannot afford to let Rumble Sedge annihilate those two.
Yeah, in the unconventional situation for Team 8, as if Doublelift got taken down in that fight, CLG was still able to just completely
Yeah, they still have an
win
80
it.
carry. We got a backup 80 carry,
Yep.
Link,
Doesn't matter.
who's got great stats on 80 carries all season long. If Doublelift fails, they still have Link there to pick up
Boom.
the slack.
Works out well.
Yeah, but not Doublelift's fault. He got charged by the front
Yeah,
line
he got
there.
hit
He
pretty
absorbed what he could with his spell shield with Sivir.
That's
but-
another big thing. If your score's bad and your team's winning, maybe you're just being that guy that's the sentry. Hey, they're here.
It was the plan all along here. That's why we brought 280 carries, because we knew one of them was going to get blown up.
Well, it's good to see Counterlogic Gaming be able to cycle through the strategies that they're using here, especially coming up towards playoffs. Smithy, not so much wanting to miss ultimates like that, but it's all right. They don't have to initiate on it. They have grabbed the gold lead back slowly, now 1K in their favor, but really the lead has never been more than that on either side.
Look, they're trying to make use of this wave bottom here, though. Interesting move here from Team 8. Trying to create some pressure and work with that side wave. Link, though, has answered. All the aggression from Team 8. Wind taken out of their sails. They lose their big wave bottom. Link was able to draw away attention, and Team 8 split to clean up defensively. Good little incursion from CLG. The only thing I'd say for CLG after that dragon fight, I'd expect them to have better vision coverage because they just won a huge fight. They killed 4 members of Team 8 and were not able to put down any wards on the map. Team 8 still have the vision advantage as far as the mid lane here. Inside the river, CLG with only a spot warding, which they're honestly not going to fight inside that little corridor for Team 8's blue side buff. So CLG got 1 upgraded yellow trinket here for Zion, and 1 pink ward for Aframu. There we go. Smithy's able to pick 1 up as well. So 2 pink wards.
Everybody's helping. We're trying to.
Since they have
Take
limited,
this out.
vision resources here, CLG need to concentrate those sources in their next area that they're going to target.
We kind of see that just above Wolves on the side of Team 8. Those 3 wards placed there. Not something the CLG was able to use as they went towards the top side. We saw Smithy miss that ultimate, but they are not stopping. Right now, bottom lane's not really anything they can work with. Teleport for Cali Trolls will bring him back to Baron. Looks like CLG is happy with trying to get vision around that for now.
Very curious how Doublelift is a full item ahead of Maple Street.
That 60 CS is a good way to do it.
Last Whisper from... Oh, he's got 5 assists on top of his single kill as well. So CS lead, assist bonus, as well as the kill. Equals Last Whisper. Huge advantage here for CLG in the 80 carry matchup.
And that's going to be hard. You can see Team 8 can't really get past the river just yet with Doublelift and the rest of the team there. They have some great wave clear with Lulu and Sivir, both at turrets and defending their turrets. 1 minute on to Dragon, so the scuffle pretty much will remain right here.
And CLG, so since they didn't have a lot of money or interest in buying a bunch of wards, they just stick in the middle of the map, inside the lane. They don't venture into either side of the jungle. And they're just waiting Team 8 out. Trying to wait for the dragon to come back up. Now they can drop their greater warding trinket wards, as well as their pink ward that Zion is holding on to. Try and prep for that dragon. 30 seconds left. There's the pink ward. Greater warding trinkets on the path leading up to dragon. And very difficult for Team 8 to walk into Sedge Rumble. Remember what happened last time.
Team 8's been keeping some good wards up, but even with
use
those
right to slow
wards...
to run away. It only gives you speed running at the enemy. It's not a disengage tool.
Oh, Slushie on the backside here. He can still hit the shockwave. He does 3, but not too much damage to follow out through that one. They have the resistances now. That Aegis really helping with the shield blocked right at the right time by Smithy.
Great catch on the tank here for CLG. That is going to be huge turret pressure. Hook onto Smithy.
Oh, wow. Zion Spartan wants the entire fight. He gets Lulu ulted as he dives in. He will go down for his troubles. That's a shutdown coming over for Maple Street. I don't think he can stay alive too long as he goes down. The boomerang bait Blade causes Porpoise to duck on the way out, and they are going to be able to get this second tier in the mid
That'll
lane.
be Dragon as well.
Yeah,
they can
CLG.
easily swing over to it.
The advantages are being pushed by them now. It's going to be hard to fight against two Infinity Edges, spiking Triforce and CLG on the run.
Yeah, especially with no frontline there. The Maokai, the full tank Maokai going down before it happened. Dodo keeps looking for these hooks, but CLG keep getting kills off the backs of those hooks. And
they've had that ward for that fight. Teammate was well aware that initiation was going to lead to what we're seeing now.
So heal, they charge right in, dive the backline here. Slushy gets annihilated. Did he even? Shockwave was already down. But yeah, full on dive past the turret. And it'll pick up everybody but Porpoise. And this game is getting out of control for CLG pretty quickly here. You already mentioned the double Infinity Edge.
I don't know if teammate's going to be able to get the one win against every team throughout the season with the way this one's going. Still holding on. We'll have to see if they can make those moves. Cali isn't on one of those huge impact picks that he usually makes. Maokai can still stand tall for himself, but he's getting taken down right now.
Again, this is one of those games leading up to playoffs. These are two teams jockeying for playoff positioning.
Yeah.
This could be very big for CLG. They really want one of those top two spots for the bye.
A position the team, or most of the players have been in at least, on that roster. They know what the intensity is of this scenario, so playing with a little bit of that in their back pocket too.
Yeah, also they want to avoid the CLG curse of falling off later in the season that we mentioned. Every single season until now. So there's been so much talk of CLG Golden Age with the new lineup in this season. It's crunch time now. Really where CLG has historically fallen apart is leading up to playoffs and crunch time. When the pressure starts to mount, will they crumble? As of right now, they're holding strong. Control over Baron area, plenty of pink wards, looking to bait it. Interesting little bait here. They've got Smithy showing outside, but Double is sort of baiting the small bush. It's very hard to bait against Rek'Sai just because of the range of Prey Seeker is insane. Still got pretty close here, though. There is a Righteous Glory on CLG as well, so they can use that to initiate. Plus the Silver Ultimate, so speed on speed on speed on Lulu speed.
This is kind of what we had last game, where we saw Gravity and Cloud9 trying to pick the right fight.
Bottom lane push here for Team 8
Not
versus a mirrored CLG push in the top lane. Can they hold with 4-man? The vision still around Baron is CLG's, so CLG can take a turret and retreat once again back to trying to bait Baron. Or they can try and make Maokai blow his teleport. Wow, they just dive right in.
Oh, Righteous Glory! Team 8 is a deer in headlights coming from this initiation, but does Counter Logic Gaming micro themselves correctly through this one? They're getting pretty low here. They may have gone a little too hard. We saw Team 8 looking for fights earlier, and finally they are able to clean it up. They're able to reassess the fight. It looks shaky for a second, but they come out with the win.
I don't know how many times I've said the problems with having your tank as the teleport split pusher.
Yep.
Those few seconds for teleport to channel can cost you everything if your front line's not there. What a dive from CLG, no hesitation. 33-40, the win for CLG.
CLG come out big onto this one. 7K gold lead to end it out as they take down the Nexus. Counter Logic Gaming takes down Team 8.
Decisive charge for CLG. And they will not have a losing record in the second half of the season.
Aframu giving a wave to the family. The herd is in the crowd today, so a good win for him there. The game played well by Team 8, standing tall throughout the mid-early game as well. The consistency in lanes, but we're seeing that against the team that wants to put the pressure on, the consistency isn't enough. You actually have to make the moves. And not to pick on Cali because he's done so well, but the Maokai pick wasn't enough power for them, I think, in the top lane. It works for a lot of teams, but not that style.
They had a really good mid-game dragon fight where they were able to abuse the teleport cooldown discrepancy.
Yeah.
After Maple Street's escape with Dodo's Lantern.
All day. Oh, my word. 1, 2, 3 escapes, 4 escapes. You thought CLG was going to start kind of chomping at the bit, maybe make some mistakes, but they didn't.
Yeah. They just had so many tools for the late game with ridiculous speed and hard to engage, followed up by double AD carries that were very deep in their builds.
Yep. Let's see this. Who is putting out the deeps?
Yeah, they're comparing AD carries right now. Link constantly outperforming Afro or Double Lift.
I remember a game previously interviewed Zion, and Zion did more damage than Double Lift in that game. It's like, all right, things need to be looked at. What happened this game? Oh, it's just that CLG can almost carry from every lane if they have to at different points in time. Another win for them. Definitely happy going into the last week here, Kobe. They have Impulse, who's been looking really, really hot coming up next. So this win is going to be good momentum.
That's true. Impulse, another one of those contenders trying to secure a top spot.
Yeah, another team that kind of surprised a lot of people, along with Team 8 here, who've just been showing up and making big moves. Definitely teams to, if they don't make an impact here, they're going to make an impact in the summer.
Oh, yeah. And Team 8 still playoff hopes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They sit now at 9-8. That's not a terrible score to have, especially with what they can do. The champion picks we've been seeing, I think this was kind of revert back for them. Picks and bans are obviously really good coming from CLG, knowing what they needed to do. But we saw a Team 8 kind of falter today after having these kind of variety and spice picks. We'll see if they can keep it going with this downfall. Chat, however, is Rift side for a word with a member of victorious Chronologic Gaming.
Thanks, Riv. And yes, I'm here with Link. Nice Corki game. Once again, I mean, you seem to keep playing these 80 carry picks mid. Do you just like playing 80 carries mid, or is there a larger strategy behind this?
80 carries generally are more mid-game oriented, and I tend to pick like Ezreal and Corki, right? And they have like power spikes once they get Trinity Force and around 20 minutes, and that's something like CLG just as a play style likes to go for. So instead of going for the old late game where we wait until Double Lift gets like 6 items and then we protect him, we're going for more of an aggressive outlook into the game, and we're making more aggressive plays. And in turn, we hope that we get better at making plays, making initiations, getting kills, and I think it worked out.
Yeah, definitely that game, 2 items and go. I saw you and Double Lift comparing 80 carry stats after the game. Who's the better 80 carry on CLG, just between you and me?
Probably Double Lift.
Okay. Good answer. Overall, though, there is this fear for CLG fans that CLG is going to be going through a late season collapse because it's happened again and again. You guys have Impulse tomorrow. How are you guarding against that fear from past results?
I think last week was really shaky when we had like a bad game versus I forgot who. I don't remember. But and then we had a bad game versus TSM. But for the most part, I think it was because of the break that we had. But now we've been screaming constantly, and I think everyone's in pretty much like good form again. For the most part, I think everyone's just gonna be practicing as hard as possible. We've been talking about the game more and more. We've been having more team meetings. We've been talking about picks and watching more replays together. And by doing this, I think we're just gonna be looking really strong into playoffs.
And with the game with Impulse tomorrow, if you guys win, you get the number 2 seed. How important is it to actually get the bye? Because you did mention that you guys got rusty with the week off. Could that actually be a bad thing if you guys have a week off in the playoffs?
What happened was we had a week off, but we took like 4 days off from not streaming. So going forward, we're going to be streaming like nonstop, right? And I think that's what's going to be really important for us. The bye is going to be super important because it'll give us an advantage when we're going to play versus play in the semifinals if we do play. But I think for the most part, even if we don't make it into second place, whoever's going to be first in playoffs is going to be the team that beats everyone else, right? So I think if we don't even make it, then it's like we still have something to prove.
All right, well, thank you very much, Link. Good luck tomorrow against Team Impulse. Now I'll send it to the experts on the analysis desk for some analysis.
Expert analysis to do some analyzing
and
here.
We might break stuff down, too.
Exactly, yeah. I want to start, I know that you were not happy with the champion select on the side of teammate Zyrene, so hit me.
No, watching teammates since Challenger, they struggle in champion select consistently, and they find their style, but then they're like, let's not play that style. Like the comp that CLG ran, where it's like tank jungler and then a carry top laner, somebody who can team fight well, is something I expected from teammate. Like, first picking the Maokai, it's something that Cali Trolls does not do well on, and we have not seen success on that champion, and they go for it.
And we saw the mouse over on Aurelia until the last second, and I don't know why that wasn't locked in.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like they think they have a style that works for them. It's weird because it calls back to what I was talking about with Team Liquid at the beginning of the day, where it's like you see things in scrims, you're like, this is how our team functions, this is what works here, right? And they have all these games, you're like, oh yeah, the Maokai's working, we're getting these flanks, he's bullying. And to be fair, right, CaliTrolls beat Zion Spartan in lane.
He absolutely
as
did.
Maokai, right? Like, there's clearly you're seeing parts that work here, and they're seeing a bunch of games that we aren't, but we get here on the broadcast, and it's like every single time we're like, no, Maokai fails. They can never translate it into the actual gameplay.
Right. I think that's an important distinction to make, is that it's not the individual laning phase that, CaliTrolls did play very well, beat Zion Spartan, but the transition for the team into the team fighting, it's just not there for whatever reason. The makeup of their team disallows a non-playmaker in the top lane.
Yeah, and the big thing here is CLG has a big damage comp. Mid-game power spike AD carry, Sivir, right, just going to start fights, 2 items is fine for her. Big mid-game AD carry and Corki. You've got Sejuani to start big mid-game team fights. Rumble, big mid-game champion. Link said it in the interview. We want to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff mid-game. And they're all big damage dealers. And then teammates like, we have kind of a low damage jungler, right? Like, Rek'Sai does some damage, but not enough. Like, Maokai is not really a big diver. He's a defensive tank. It's like, great. You're going to sit here and play defensively against 3 glass cannon damage dealers. This is going to work great for you in team fights, and unsurprisingly, it doesn't.
Yeah, and it was basically all on Slushy's shoulders there. Like, that Orianna's never going to do enough damage to just completely wipe out everybody on CLG. And with 2 AD carries, they just separate them, and they forced him a lot of the times in fights to go only after one, but the other one's hitting him at the same time.
I do want to pull up our replay, which is going to show that. We're going to go 24 minutes into the game. Bottom river, Freak, take it away.
So this is really cool. The AD carries do a good job of splitting up for the most part, and Zion Spartan especially hides off in a corner because he is a high damage champion in the top lane. Lo and behold, then he wants to go kill the backline squishies. So mostly watch Zion Spartan and watch Link and Doublelift spacing. Let's roll the clip out. Watch what happens here. Smithy's here taking Dragon. Thing is, his team can't help him or they will get Shockwave. So like Doublelift can attack, Link like mostly pokes. He doesn't even hit Dragon I think once at all. And then finally the engage comes in. Zion Spartan's still waiting, and he's like, all right, they really screwed up. Let's go. He's going to flash into the back line. Link does not get hit by Shockwave, nor does Lulu. Now into the back line. Smithy gets to actually go in because of how much they forced Teammate to go in, because of how hard they have to try to dive these guys. I think if Teammate had just gone for a spacing Shockwave, put the ball down, go for the Sejuani with just something at all, just like hit him with the Graves, hit him with the Orianna auto attacks, and be like, I dare you to help. I dare you to help Sejuani. Shockwave, you can't.
Yeah, control
that
the chokes. Control the choke points with the Orianna. You don't have to force those fights. You can just pick people off and then take it afterwards. And that was a fight too, like right before that, all throughout the game, Slushy has been hitting shockwaves, but people have been flashing away from them. So that's like that was his first shockwave in the game, where he threw it via an E onto somebody, the command protect. So he didn't have anything for himself afterwards as a defensive option. So that was something that was kind of scarring. So I think like before that, he's like, I'm tired of missing shockwaves. I'm just going to throw it on a dude in the fight. But it was an overextension, and they left the backline vulnerable.
Well, and ultimately, they only have 2 damage threats in the Graves and the Orianna, and they were leaving them unprotected. Right? So you have this defensive Maokai, but you sent him in with a Rek'Sai and
defensive Maokai? It's CaliTrolls.
Right, exactly.
There's nothing defensive about that guy's playstyle.
Right, but the champion itself, right? It's like, so you're not going to do enough damage to kill their Corki or their Sivir with a Lulu, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you're gonna leave your Orianna and your Corki.
You know, like it's not. Actually, I happened to run into an AP Maokai like a month ago, and he destroyed some people. It was great. He went Stork Boots. He got a Haunting Guys. He got a Roa. Do that build, CaliTrolls. Go for it. Like that, he'll actually have some success.
Don't do that build, CaliTrolls.
Don't go into solo queue with that build.
Hey, it carried me.
But something I want to talk about is we talked a lot about Teammate and their shortcomings in their team comps, but I want to talk about CLG. Because they've struggled in team fights over and over again. In the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we've been like, they struggle with their team fights. They struggle with their late game and judging their power spikes versus the enemy teams. This was a great display of, we know what we're doing mid game. Trinity Force power spike. Zion's behind, but he hit his Leandres and his Sork shoes. And they were like, group, fight, force the fight, let it happen. And that was beautiful to see from CLG. And that's what they need more of, because they were all on the same page.
They had a couple of good choices. It still, to me, is still a question mark for CLG, because it's easy to look good when your opponents make a lot of mistakes and you capitalize on them. CLG still managed to hemorrhage a gold lead. like in the middle of the game, right, and let teammate back in off of bad team fights. Teammate overextends, like smart by Zion to wait in the flank, like that's good on him, but like teammate played right into it. On a ward, he's sitting there on a site ward, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna go dive past that and just like let Graves and Orianna overextend.
But the fact they wanted to pick that fight in the first place around that time, mid-game power spikes, was good because it's something they haven't done in the past.
And to be fair, they recognize the threats correctly, which in the past they have done poorly, right? They understood that of all the champions on teammates' team, the one that was going to be their greatest threat was Orianna. So they made sure that every time a Righteous Glory, Lulu, a Whimsy in, the Sejuani ult was going for Orianna and no one else. Make sure she doesn't get that shockwave off, or she gets a panic one off that isn't going to be super effective.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, if TSM were playing teammates champions, what that team fight would have been like. Because TSM would not have done that and overextended their backline. And, like, that's what I'm going for is CLG are smart players. Like, Zion's a good player. These guys are smart. But if a better team fight is executed from the other team, what happens then?
Yeah, and last thing I just want to say is Afromu played that game with no masteries.
Yep.
0.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that happened. He did die a lot for it, though, in the beginning of the game. He was definitely a target of Teammate early on. Anyway, this is going to make tomorrow's game against Teammate and Gravity very interesting, as the winner will secure their spot into playoffs. When we come back, though, Team Liquid are on the hunt for a playoff spot, and it continues with our next match against Winter Fox. Don't go anywhere. The action continues after this.
Roger that, Scara. I just want you guys to know, if you have any problems, just think about yesterday's game. The CSGO game. But you weren't in, but trust me, great stuff happened.
Alright. The shield coming in, Dodo! It's the Link! Link's gonna get hit up here, and he's definitely going down, but they get the first blood.
Go for dash, go for dash. There you go. Oh, Malk. They want me. Malk. They're on me. Yo, backline. Graves, flash. Graves, I hit him with both harpoons. Let's go. I got flash. Yeah, go. You can get dragon. Romo, no flashes. No flashes.
Oh, wow. Zion Spartan wants the entire fight. He gets Lulu ulted as he dives in. He will go down for his troubles.
They just dive right in.
Oh, Righteous Glory. Team 8 is a deer in headlights coming from this initiation. Counter Logic Gaming takes down Team 8.